I'm Ethan. I love muzzleloading. I was on the 11 Bang Bang show a few weeks ago, and I wanted to share some of the questions and some of my answers from that program with you here. So we've got a lineup of some clips for you to check out on the channel.
Let's see. We're getting a lot of conversation about Swiss caviar resupply of it coming. So I don't know about Swiss caviar there, Mountain Man. And then Soylent Green says, is there really an advantage to Swiss? We got a whole side conversation going on over here about caviar. I think I missed the intro to it.
I'm not high class enough to even know anything about caviar. I eat chicken eggs, and that's about it.
Swiss caviar, as in Swiss powders, resupply of it coming. Have you heard anything?
It should be close if it's not here already. I mean, back then in January, they were saying that they had stuff incoming quite a bit. So, I just keep an eye on the different shops and things that are online and your local shops if you have it locally. I imagine they will be really making everybody aware of when that comes in. I know the folks down in Texas that import it. It's imported under Shoots and Energetics here in the United States. They distribute both. You're going to start seeing the big national events kick up here in late spring and early summer. So I know it will be here, by June. To meet those deadlines. And that's just me spitballing, just based on some of the trends of last year. So I'm willing to eat my hat on that if it doesn't come in for sure.
I'll answer this one for you, Steve, and I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
Ethan over here, he can answer this one too.
Yeah, I'm happy to contribute to that.
I still don't know if it's any good. Reason I want to test it. Well, I'll tell you this: Swiss is good. It's real good.
Yeah, I'd have to say the same. I mean, I shoot everything indiscriminately, as far as powder goes. I'm very fortunate to have distributors close and access to just about every powder. And I mean, if you go to any of the major competitions where the guys are really shooting and a lot of times shooting for money and shooting for medal and things, most of your top shooters across the country are going to be shooting Swiss in some capacity. And that goes, muzzleloading, that's going to be the case for a lot of folks. And in black powder cartridge, Swiss is pretty dominant when it comes to the guys shooting, across the country competitions there in the big matches. It's just kind of, it's the most expensive powder, I think, when you're looking at the mass-produced and distributed powders. But there's a lot of records and a lot of shooters that have set records using it. That's not to say that you can't do it with Schutzen or with GoX, but predominantly the top shooters are going to tell you got to be shooting Swiss.
And we actually, like, when we do our proofing, because Swiss is so much hotter, it seems like. I mean, I don't know if it's that much hotter, but it feels like when you shoot, like I'm going to have to go proof this gun.
Right.
When I go to do that, because they don't drill the touch holes in these, because it's a non-firing replica because of the gun laws in India.
Right.
But when I drill the touch hole for this gun, we're going to proof it, and we'll most likely be using Swiss, just because if it's going to run with a really heavy charge of Swiss, it'll run with anything we can make.
Yeah, and I think everybody's testing that you see online, Swiss is pretty unanimously the hottest or the fastest.
Yeah.
When it's set up on a chronograph or anything. I enjoy using it, especially when I'm in some of the bullet testing when it comes to black powder stuff, because I know that it's not everybody's going to be hunting with Swiss. I mean, for a lot of guys, it's a little overkill, but that heat and that speed is kind of as much as you're going to get out of black powder, at least in the produced stuff in a can that's distributed. This was really just a short segment of our entire 2.5 hour long conversation. So if it's the kind of thing that you enjoyed these selected clips from, I encourage you to check out the 11 Bang Bang channel. You can find the full conversation there. It was all done live, no preparation for it, which is a lot of fun, just to kind of jump right into it and have some muzzleloading fun.